Let- Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Kamal Ganguly is an alumnus of Satyajit Film and Television Institute, Calcutta, and an independent filmmaker, video artist, media practitioner, and researcher. His work has been shown in competitive sections of various national and international festivals. He has received several awards, including the Tiger Award at Rotterdam. This grant enabled Kamal to excavate emails, archives, and attempting to trace human journeys through its digital footprints over the years. Welcome, Kamal. Now I will leave it to, I will hand over the sessions to you. Please continue.
A warm welcome to all of you who are presently seeing or attending this presentation. This project was undertaken with a light heart when it was a proposal given to IFA, and it was initiated from a kind of trigger that uh, we are all familiar with how email accounts work, and over the years how things get accumulated there, how there are lots of unread emails that create a kind of pressure on mind and things like that. So the trigger was I took one day, I think several hours, to clear my inbox and to read all the unread emails. And at that point of time, I also tried to go back to some of the emails that was those were sent to me years back, or I wrote to few other people years back. And I found that though at that point of time those were written with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of excitement, in my mind I couldn't feel any trace of those things, as if those were written by some other people, those were addressed to someone else whom I don't know. And that created in me a certain kind of a very different kind of feeling, I should say, because we culturally were accustomed earlier with the culture of letter writing over the years, and even those letters of prominent people, they get published, and they also assume a sense of literary value. But these emails, which generally when came into our uh, digital practice, communication practice, nobody actually could think that what are the manifestations of this practice will be after years. And my email inbox, which was initiated in 1999, almost 22 years old now, it showed that it had a kind of shadow of mine that I don't know, or that I can't recognize at this point of time. So with this intention, sort of proposed IFA to look into the project, and I'm glad that they sort of offered me this opportunity to look into this enormous sort of volume. And when I started working on, I found that I said that I pitched the proposal with a kind of light heart, but gradually it seemed that the kind of complexity it would sort of unfurl, that I was unable to figure that out. Some of the methodological issues that I sort of tried to adopt from the very beginning is that, because in every mail, whether I wrote or I received, there is a sense of I in it. So how to look at this I-ness over the years, the sense of I-ness which is constantly shifting, constantly modulating. One way is to whether one can objectify these ideas, whether one can look at these things from a very distant perspective, which is not at all easy, because there are various kinds of associations, various kinds of memories. Some are disturbing, some are uh, as if the memories are suddenly being discovered, that okay, those were also part of my memory, suddenly being excavated as a kind of fresh new sort of sensation. So all these things were not very simple to go through. And obviously the time we got for this project, this 4 months, this time was not enough to actually scrutinize thousands of emails either written or received. And by the way, these emails are selected emails which I kept in the inbox. These are not like uh, uh, emails, those are just lying there. So those selections over the years are already obviously more than thousands, several thousands might be. One of the things that I started doing is that to at least to start from the very beginning of this email chains with various kinds of various quarters of spaces, various kinds of people, and try to find some extract from that email where there is no reference of a person in terms of name, in terms of activity, in terms of other specifications. So I tried sort of gleaning some of the parts, and even that kind of gleaning sort of gave me, I think, a sizable number of pages. And one of my collaborator in this project, who Vipin Vijay, with whom I also work on a very sort of regular basis over the decades. In fact, his email account and my email account were opened at the same point of time, and I think he's the person with whom I had the maximum communication over the emails. Saw also few things which were quite interesting as an observation. Is that in the very initial years, might be from 99 to 2002 and 3, there is a lot of urge to write, and the people who are writing, including myself, they are just typing words very fast, even to shorten the time of typing. They are not also using the capital letters when it is required. It is just all written in small letters, lot of typos, not really rereading what is being sent, as if there is a kind of sense of orality. Though it is a written thing, but there is a kind of inherent oral quality in it, and there is an urge to communicate as fast as one can. Some of the emails are, hundreds of words long, might be even there might be 800 words, uh, thousands of words, might be 1200 word one email. It is written on a single instant, over a single stretch of time. So those really showed that there is a lot of what you call push and urge to communicate on those platforms, as if those communication in a way sort of not only defines oneself who is writing, but also defines the other to whom it is being addressed. So it is already happening in a kind of zone of imagination. Now it is being dealt on a technology which is real, a communication which is taking its exact time, when it is being written, when it is being communicated. All these things are there, but as if there is something one can sense in those communications which are beyond these tropes of what we call digital reality. There is that something that is happening which is beyond its sort of immediate uh, observations and what one can expect out of those. So my presentation, the better part of my presentation would be a kind of a video that I have created out of this uh, communication. So I would request IFA, my friends in IFA, to post that video, to stream that video. It is around 10 minutes long. So after that, we can come back and we can have a kind of discussion that what actually this video and this experience of looking at one's email inbox, how critical it might be, or where the interventions in terms of intersubjective positioning of uh, posing a question, posing a query, or uh, creating a sort of gap within the communication. All these things actually can matter. And one thing before streaming the video, I would like to say that one feels a bit lost in these words. I mean, we all know that emails are basically words, and obviously those words are written in the form of sentences, syntactic constructions, everything. But when one looks at such a huge pile of communication, uh, kind of exchange that went on for years, It is like one is a kind of what one is within a kind of archive where sentence or the context doesn't matter. It is only about words and their strange relationships, the way uh, one is actually getting engulfed into. So right now, I think I'll stop here, and then after the video, we can come back for a later interaction.
Dev, just a second. Our team will meanwhile upload the video.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I have a question to you. Like
Yeah.
when you are going through all those unsent emails, what kind of like ethical or maybe sensitives or the gender, all those kind of issues came across while you are digging so many unsent emails?
One thing is that I made it a point that the identity of the person is not going to be disclosed. Who is writing and who is getting those emails? Obviously, I am there at a central position, but even the year, I would like to take it off. It will come like a kind of series of texts written in different time of the day, on different dates of the week, and in every email there might be an I, but those all I's are different. Those all selves are different, but all these selves are coming together to create a kind of imaginary self within that email inbox. So after the video, we might read few extracts. In fact, in the video also, you will get a glimpse of some of the extracts of those email communications, not the full email, but might be 2 lines, 3 lines. You will get a sense that what kind of thing was going on. And obviously the topics are very varied, and uh, I also sense that people are not really discussing topical things. That might depend upon person to person. They can start from a topic, but very soon they get into a situation where they are trying to internalize, that they are trying to talk something which they sense from. mm, and some of those communication, it looks like that if we were face to face, those might not have taken places, those communication. So it is also a specificity of the medium. In the medium you are communicating, that in a way is determining what kind of communication you actually will do. Yeah.
Start streaming your video. Maybe it takes another 5 to 10 seconds. Just wait, Dave.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
just wait.
The sky is full of waves. The sky is full of signals. Each wave is nothing but a signal. Each signal is anything but a wave.
Some waves are for me. Some signals are for my receivers. Some receivers are for me. Myself is for some receivers. Some signals are for him. Some waves are for her. You send me some signals. She sends me some sky.
Saturday, January 2, 1999 at 5:15 p.m. Your email address, deb99kamal@yahoo.com, is now active and you can send and receive messages immediately. Below are some helpful tips to get you going, and remember that if you ever have any questions, help is only a click away.
Wednesday, February 20th, 9:36 a.m. I've been in Pune since the beginning of this month for a stint at Iyengar's ashram to do yoga. Every bit of my body ached for what seemed ages, and parts of my body that I didn't know existed were protesting, but I've settled down and am learning to push my body while listening to it.
Wednesday, June 14th, 7:30 p.m. It gives a strange feeling, as if a lonely being traveling in a spacecraft, he can see faintly the illumination of Earth, that will be darkened after few moments. I can understand now what you used to speak of then. Scattered in space and time, crawling across a photograph of nebulae.
I have a shadow which changes color. You have a shadow always mobile. Wave has a shadow lost in signal. The shadow of signal is a sign. Our shadows fuse in devices, receivers, screens.
Monday, November 10th, 12:47 p.m. Two interesting chats happened yesterday. One, a Trinidad lady trying hard to trace her roots in India. Her name is spelt as Parvati Rempreesid. It is actually Parvati Randprasad. Ha. Another girl, the most fascinating, is an interior designer. She wanted to see me nude, but I deliberately decided not to. Ha. But it ended in her saying that in this context, to know is not to know. And not to know is to know. I have never seen for long such a truthful, intelligent girl. We live very nearby as I get to know. She said she would never ever want to meet again. She said that my virtual code gets cut here and said bye.
I send him some waves. Some signals are lost in wave. Some waves cease to be signals. Some signals are interface between you and me. Some waves stitch me and him.
Today, November 23rd, 11:14 a.m. It is good to collect things, but it is better to go on a walk. Anatole, France.
That voice voice does not break the silence of the night, only makes the silence more acute. সেই অন্ধকারে সীমানা ঘেঁষিয়া জমাট অন্ধকারে গড়া যাহাদের দেহ সেই আদিবাসীর দল বাস করে, তাহারা আধুনিক শহর ও জনপদে বড় আসে।
Terrorist attacks on U.S. How can you help? Donate cash, emergency relief information. http://www.dailynews.yahoo.com/fc/us/emergency_information/.
Wednesday, October 30th, 11:02 p.m. I am thinking of a film on a sex bomb who suddenly developed a peculiar bulge in her left foot. She got it on the right as well. The industry rejected this actor who took 10,000 rupees per hour because her foot cannot be exposed. They tried it with extras, but they felt it was a waste. Now she lives near my house with her kid. I daily see her in front of the temple. I happened to meet her husband who said the disease is hereditary.
Saturday, April 26, 12:24 a.m. The search for an intelligent girl is a mythical search for men because an intelligent girl would be an affront to a man's ego. Or let us put it this way, that a man would ideally prefer that the search for an intelligent girl remains a mythical search for the sake of his ego.
I'm out of a device to sense the sky. She lives within the receiver and plays with waves. I become you, he, she, pronouns at large. Pronouns are shadows of nouns. I, you, he and she are receivers, shadows, waves and signals. Signals in the sky.
Yes, it was a very a journey with a lot of inputs. Dave, will you continue or will you add some more opinion or add your opinions on this?
Yes, one thing why I would like to say that why I have named this as emails and amnesiac life. Uh, in fact, when we talk about human existence, we talk about memory. That a person, a self subjectivity that is built as a kind of accumulation of memory. But while doing this project, I understand that memory only can be seen or understood vis-a-vis what is forgotten, what is not in the mind. So memory is like a kind of isolated islands within the abyss of forgetfulness. And these emails, the huge inbox over the years, that give this feeling that this is not only an account of memory, but it is also an account of forgetting, and it is also an account of something which was cherished at a point of time. Now possibly it is not affecting oneself that much. And in pre-digital life, in pre-digital world, you know, there was a kind of decay that used to happen with time, right? Like a book, a letter, if it is old enough, gradually the colors will fade, the ink will sort of, you know, almost it will smudge with the paper, etc. But digital incarnation, in digital incarnation, there is no decay, or there is no gradual sort of, you know, fading. There is no organic way of losing all this matter. So either it is there in its full strength and capacity, or it is not there, like the binary 0 and 1 configuration. Either it is the signal, or it is the lack of signal. So that this creates a unique kind of situation for all of us, unique kind of scenario to understand that how actually our years I mean, the way we pass years and live, that has a very different account that in pre-digital day possibly we couldn't figure it out. We sort of, in a way, there was a kind of parallelism between the natural process of decay and the natural process of decay of even human memory. But this digital interface, as primary as email, will show that you know, there are other sides or shadows of existence which one can ponder over, and where one can find the essence of life in a very different way. So if there are any more comments or questions, I would like to answer.
Yeah, maybe just a last question, maybe opinion. Uh, just to understand your like taking out a lot of unsent emails from the archives, and how you differentiate this handwritten document versus the digital documents. You still, you feel there is an intimacy, still you have you feel there is the same kind of wavelength we can find with this through unsent emails. The last question to you.
Yeah, actually, I would like to say that these emails are all sent emails. These are not unsent emails. These are all actual communications.
Okay.
So possibly there was a kind of miscommunication on my part. So this is not something which one intended to send but couldn't send. These are all sent, and that's why it is stacked in the inbox in this proper receiver sender chain. And to answer your question is, you know, because I feel that we are just seeing the primary face of it. Now it is 20 years. We don't know what will happen after 20 years more, even after, you know, when people are no more on this earth. Still these email servers are there where these things are kept. So there is a possibility to excavate, might be 50 years later. You know, it's like a huge unimaginable archive. And who has the time, who has the sort of that kind of you know, energy to actually move through this archive? But this archive will stay definitely. Possibly not human intelligence or human capacity won't be able to do or move through this archive of future. possibly we need to bring AI, artificial intelligence, to get into this, to make sense of this archive which is continuously being built. And now there are already other platforms, so many other platforms are, communications are all getting recorded and piled up every second, every nanosecond for that matter. One thing I would possibly you also have noticed, and also our viewers, that while the emails I mentioned, whether I sent or I received those emails, mostly I received those emails, I choose the portions. To make a kind of defamiliarization, I could have voiced them, or I could have asked my friend to voice them. So I used some audio software where these voices are some sort of alien voices. These voices are not, it sounds like human voice, but basically these are artificial intelligence kind of voice, where even, if you change some parameters, a female voice changes to male or vice versa. So the idea, the way we see at ourselves, at individual selves carrying a kind of responsibility towards society, family, etc., etc., this digital existence is trying to challenge all these things. Possibly the sense of I is not a singular one, but it's a kind of mesh of many other smaller sort of impulses which comes and grows and dies at every instant. So this kind of a, I should say, a kind of sensation one receives while doing a very primary work, I should say, uh, at one's archive. I would stop here and thank you very much,
Yes.
IFA, to
Yeah.
give me this opportunity.
Thank you, Dev Kamal, for your wonderful project 20, for adding more values to our 25 into 25. Thank you once again. Thank you, Dev.
Thank you very much.